Come on, you can do this.
But is it too late to be great in the game I love? Maybe not. The current Guinness World Record set in 2018 is 56 hours and 9 minutes. Set the mark at 60 hours.
Now Brooklyn.
Our goal, play hundreds of Blitz games for 61 hours straight and crush the old and new record. This is happening during Norway Chess, and finally, Askild and I can feel like chess superstars for a couple of days, playing in the same venue as Magnus and the other chess greats. This record will be a testament to a lifelong dedication to the game. Tune in on chess.com stream and support us as we try to cement our names in chess history.
Hurry up, Jackson. No, come on. Come on in.
Hey, snowball! Snowball! Whack!
So fast.
Coming in.
Oh, hey.
Ah, no.
Amanda won!
Just go, do it.
We are back, and we have liftoff.
Woo!
The spicy stuff is happening in the game between Ali Reza Perugia and Praggnanandha Ramesh Babu. The variations we analyzed with Fabiano
busted her
Caruana
butt.
was in studio. have appeared on the board. It was Anna and Stockfish versus Bobby. Anna suggested that this was the best and only way for those at the break who might have been following at chess.com/events. You would have seen the blue arrow appear on the board when rook takes b1 was an option. We're going to dive in and take a look at the action because it's exactly what we predicted. And you should give us a replay of this crazy attack. David, you want to take it away?
Let's do it. This is the live position. We've actually correctly predicted 4 moves each, so 8 moves in total for both players. And it's just the start, as Danny mentioned. We last left it at this position. Rook to a3 appeared. Fabiano said this is just the way for white to play. It's a very common motif. Rook lifts, going towards the black king here, attacking with pieces rather than pawns. The black king is a bit of a sitting target with a few defenders around it. Knight c6, we said, was the human approach. I think we all agreed that this was the way forward. Attacking this forward block, knight to c5. The black rook now is the one attacked. It shifted, and after queen to c2, a subtle threat, checkmate in 1. Takes b1 in this position. There we go. Double. I was going to say double exclamation point. Just one. It is a sacrifice, and much needed sacrifice to stop the checkmate. And queen takes. There was now a second sacrifice. Knight takes d4. Now the white knight on c5 is hanging. Black temporarily down the exchange. But still, all bets are off. It's super complicated here. What Rouge is thinking right now, though.
I think he has just played knight takes d4, so fragment capture on c5, but currently it's his chair facing this menacing position.
Confessional, anyone?
Could be.
Wouldn't that be amazing? I would love to get Prague stopped right now at this position. Ali Reza hasn't been in the confessional yet.
Yeah, what is he not
All
doing
event,
there?
right? Maybe we'll say something to him in the hangout time. Not that Ali Reza, is going to do it if anybody says anything. But not really his thing. Prague is back. Confessional, we don't know. Rook to g3. According to the computer, the only move, if he finds rook g3 and we get the sacrifice we talked about, again, if you just tuned in, one of those rare times where you might literally want to scroll back on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, wherever you're watching, I don't really know, and you might want to just see Bobby's analysis. It was amazing because it started out crazy. Looks like black is better, even the computer changes its mind. But Bobby's intuition and feel that white's attack was wild here was proven 100% correct. And now that it's here, the computer's had time to think. It agrees and loves sacrificing the knight for the attack.
This is just mind-blowing, and we could show an alternative if white doesn't sacrifice the knight on d4, but protects by playing rook to d3, so both your rook and knight are hanging. The only way to get out of the double attack is by playing rook to d3, but that is not a very good move. The computer actually starts liking black's chances more after a move like bishop to a6, attacking the rook again, and suddenly you need to play something awkward like dropping the rook back either to d1 or to d2. I guess rook to d2 is even uglier than rook d1, but it's no longer that menacing attack that white is dreaming of unless you end up placing the rook on d3 and giving up the knight. But if you do so, it's probably best to do it straight away.
Oh, I missed
in
it!
this moment, the knight is hanging, the rook is hanging, and you just don't care. So rook to d3, and the threat is after bishop takes d4, you will capture on h6 because you put it on the g5. You're threatening mate in 2 by rook takes g7 and queen h7 checkmate. So black has to sacrifice back to react to it. Playing bishop takes f2 check, king takes f2, and queen h4. This is the idea that the computer originally liked a lot of the black, but then it starts realizing this is still lost.
It's crazy.
This is crazy. This is where Fabiano spotted the bishop takes c7. The attack continues. The queen check. A bit of an action replay of the analysis earlier. White has to block this one. And if you step back here, even with the king, it's a full turnaround. The white king is the one that's mated. And after queen d4, if you do block, white would have to find the incredible move, bishop to f6 check, allowing a double check met by the block. And the king has to move one safe square here on f3, but that is sufficient. F7 is is not a in the game. If all this happens,
it could happen though.
It could happen.
But it could. This is a line that you'll wonder afterwards if we do get a player how deeply Faruja might have calculated the position. Again, if you had just tuned in, you missed Fabio Caruana going for this. It was awesome, and we're getting closer and closer to the moment. So now that Fabi's done, let's stay on this for a minute because it was really crazy impressive. And again, all those lines on the board, they might be happening. But what is Vlad's best defense? So let's go rook g3. Should you not take on d4? That's the question, right? Should you stop bishop h6 somehow instead of taking the knight?
Realize, Danny, there's a cool tactic if Black King sidesteps. I think White can sacrifice anyway on h6, and this is great kind of geometry here. Just simple sidestep. ac1, hitting the pawn, hitting the weak bishop, and White will emerge with a decisive attack or material advantage. So it's like all roads lead to Rome, or h6 in this case, sacrifice. This is just classic Faruja. Again, I'm not a gambling man, but I think rook d3 is very likely to appear.
I think so too, and it's so much his style. It's so much his style to calculate this and go for it and have that kind of instinct that even if he doesn't stay till the very end, he, I think, would believe in an attack like this. Because if you look at the Black King, and even though there's 3 pawns in front of it, that is the only defense. So once you manage to grab the h6 pawn, and then you see that the g7 pawn falls as well, Black's king is running out of defenders.
Hurry up, Jackson!
Fabiano said,
No,
because
come
he's
on.
playing Faruja
Come on in.
next in the tournament, that you never know what you're getting with all of these. Sometimes he plays chess when you're like, this is the best chess player in the world. And other times, there are times when he almost looks to beat himself, right? I mean, there was a game yesterday with Magnus. Literally happened, right? And Fabi was being complimentary of Faruja in the process, just
You have to
saying
like run. Oh god.
this is the kind of player you don't want to face when it's this Alireza Faruja at the table. And we've said it a million times. David even recalled his personal experiences of Faruja sacrificing a piece on h6 and blowing open the king side.
Really?
If you this is shaping up to be maybe the game of the tournament so far. It should be so much fun to see that type of attack on the board, especially if we get anything close to that variation we have with Fabi.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned those experiences against Faruja. I remember Norway Chess in 2021, and it was an Italian game, and I was talking about all of these sacrifices Faruja could have landed on h6. He did land one on h6. I literally played him 1 month later. He landed a sacrifice on h6 against me. It just keeps happening. He just has this one-track mind. This kind of, he's so well attuned to the kind of weakness of his opponent's king in every single position, especially when he has the white pieces. Right now, away from the board again. Maybe he should visit the professional because that's where he had that epiphany. Maybe he needs that right now to take this game.
It could be the only way. I hope that doesn't the time. Yes, quite some time prevented, and time is a factor that has played a big role in Alireza's game. So that is the only concerning part, I think, is for all fans of Alireza, that if he does use a bit too much time for this decision, he better has it all calculated because he's gonna get into serious time trouble.
I'm glad you're calling that out, but it really is the thing we need to observe. It's already a 17-minute disadvantage. Alireza went into a 45-minute thing against Magnus Carlsen and ultimately lost that game probably because of that moment right now.
Oh, are you
and certainly it's but we can... Okay, we got to go to Magnus's game. Something
Really
happened with
careful,
Magnus's
not
game. We're going to back up and go there. But again, the only times Alireza has lost in this event have been because of time. But what happened here? Did we run blundered against Magnus?
Oh, no,
He
is that
just
the checkmate
resigned?
on the board?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, queens!
Oh my
queen sacrifice
gosh.
we were looking at earlier. No way! We were showing that this could happen, but he blundered it. The reigning world champion blundered queen takes h7.
We had this tactic on the board 20 minutes ago, purely for educational purposes, because it was entertaining to show that this is the type of checkmate that the world champion would certainly never fall into. And it was also to highlight the key idea of why the bishop goes to d5, which you see Magnus did, put the bishop on d5. And then it happened. Oh My God.
This is unbelievable. I don't think even Magnus believes that it happened, even though like that was the threat. But he plays rook e4 to move that will bring the rook over to the king side. He wasn't playing for this trick. You don't expect your opponent to blunder checkmate in 2 moves on such a high level.
Shows what happened. Wow.
Oh,
I mean,
no way.
I'm a bit in shock, a bit.
Hey, you ain't gonna do any worse, man.
Are
you alright?
Working his way back into it. It felt like he'd fought back into the position. But yeah, let's just highlight the last 3 moves maybe, because Magnus set it up. He started with, in this position, queen to h5. Oh my god! You got it! You know, one of many moves, and after rook e4. The blue arrow shows us here has to play h6. Now the black queen actually finishes square. There's no way in for white, despite how attractive it looks, because white lacks a knight and the position is still relatively blocked. I guess he would have to try to realign up on the g file, but black suddenly will have counterplay with rook to b2 to come next. This is a real fight. The computer says 0.0, but it went from that to checkmate in 2 moves. He played rook b2 first. Same idea, wrong order, forcing moves. That's what every player should be looking for. Queen takes h7, check, queen sacrifice, ding, head in hands, we saw it. He had to resign. King for checkmate.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable. We're actually going to go to a replay because we were trying to get to this game. It's hilarious that we were trying to get to this game to highlight that Disney Red was getting back into it, and we had our eyes on it, and the bars moved, but then this happened.
Down he goes. I knew that was gonna happen.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Goodness me. No one feels great. Everyone is feeling sorry for Dingliren, and everyone is worried about him. Not just for the chess results. This goes way beyond. We keep highlighting that storyline, but it's just so important to understand that it's not his chess skills. He knows that pattern. He knows that checkmate in 2. He hasn't forgotten it, but there's something else going on, and that is making him play the unrecognizable. Hikaru said, this is a different person I played against yesterday. And he lost to Dingliren in the candidate in the last round, and that's how Dingliren played the World Championship and not Hikaru.
His face as well, the frown. It's like, this is I mean, this Ding had 32 minutes. Ding was actually playing extremely well, so accurate, just to kind of balance that position out and counterplay like he played with Ruby 2. It's about to come. I think that is so hard. He was playing extremely well. He was defending well. And he was wonderful playing 6. The attack is actually hard for white because of moments or ideas we were highlighting earlier that you kind of need pawns to put the structure in. And Magnus lacked those. It was the rook and the queen, but the rook and the queen can't deliver a checkmate pattern, as we saw. And it was a rush tactic. And so this is not going to happen on the board, but it's instructive to understand the dangers. India was going to have something, and we have it on the board. Telekinesis, Kyle, but no, it was not. Faruja does not see rook to g3. He goes knight to c6. He may miss his chance with that attack. Now things are going along. Don't even know what to make of what's going on right now with Dingli Ren. For the first time, I'm actually coming around to being open to the idea that we might have to discuss if Dingli Ren is really just no longer enjoying chess as we continue to play. I had refused to believe that was actually going to be a thing, but this is crazy. So, all right, but let's dive into the crazy game. Look at knight to c6 and potentially what could backfire here, given that Faruja did miss the opportunity for rook g3. Yeah, this move, I must admit, wasn't on my radar at all. It felt like everything was gravitating towards the king side. But this is tempo play. This is a good way of getting the white knight out of the attack, gaining time against the black queen. I guess the reason we were all kind of writing off this move is because it is a loose piece. The knight can be hit, for example, if the black queen simply moves. And the rook still hanging on a3. So the big question is, does black prioritize going for the white knight? Or does black swing out the other way and go for a second attack against f2? The reason I suggest that one is because then after queen h4, rook g3 would finally be impossible. Because the black queen could take. There is a pin after this diagonal g3 would not be protected. And I know it looks like Prague probably in for a lot of things right now.
He's
Just
in
go,
for a
do
long
it.
thing, and he does have the time advantage. I think it is a good moment to invest more time in your decision. It is where to place the queen, whether you go for the double attack, queen to c7, so got hanging again, or do you go for a more active square for the queen with the idea that it's a prophylactic move, then to move to g3. Because I guess that's the difference, David, right? If queen to c7, white can still go for the sacrifice, not the same position, but similar idea that you will lose the knight, but you manage to capture on it.
Probably even more effective. If you play queen c7, rook g3 is even easier to go for, I would imagine. Yes! Unless there's some other trick here, but queen takes c6, bishop takes h6. Yeah, I would imagine it's even worse. I want to get a strike. The black queen was still in the dark square. So yeah, so this is likely not what Prague's going to go for. You have to see the pieces coming to the king side in a hurry here. So I would imagine we'll see queen h4, and then Perugia might actually have missed his chance for rook to g3.
Yeah, suddenly it's really sharp. f2 would be attacked. The a3 rook still attacked. It's just a long game. I don't even know where white starts here.
Maybe now we're back to Bobby's idea. He talked about the rook e4. Now, obviously, like let's say rook f3. Maybe Perugia's plan is rook f3, and then the point is trying to attack rook e4. Perugia's sort of baiting Prague into playing queen h4 so that you get more pieces into the attack with tempi. Rook e4, rook g4 would just be lights out at that point. Actually, I think this might be the idea.
Yeah, I think rook f3 might be the key here. And anytime soon. Not too relevant right now. So material up and the one being on the attack. I can see the appeal behind this whole variation.
Coming in.
Mixing things up. Maybe Prague didn't expect this move, so yes, he burns some time, but you force your opponent to burn time. It kind of all works out. I've got to say, it's such a complicated battle. That's impressive accuracy by both players.
94%. This is such a complex and crazy position. There's so many attacking potential, but also so much potential for white to go wrong. It's not obvious when you can give up when you can give up a piece, when you can sacrifice on d4, as it would have been in case of rook to g3, or if after queen c7, rook g3 happens, black is not obliged to take the knight because that knight on c6 is and then want to capture the knight, right?
That's super strong. Yeah, that would be quite the find there. If queen to c7 and then you play king h8 and you're like, yeah, the knight has no squares. That looks like the best way to play the position for black.
Yeah, I was wondering for a moment whether this tactic, as we jump in, this tactic still works from earlier. Bishop takes h6 with the idea of a double attack, but apparently not. What would black have?
Whoa, oh gosh! Be careful.
We saw something very similar in another line that worked out very well for white. Calculation is not as quick as it used to be. What's up here? Just looks super strong for white.
Yeah, it looks winning. What does black have?
Chess is hard. Captain Obvious today. That's my role. I guess black has to sacrifice the bishop because it's about to drop it anyway.
Yeah.
I was looking at something like bishop e3 and something.
I was also looking at that move, but I can't make it work. Aiden! It would be tricky. It would be really tricky.
The knight is black, but
taking it.
The knight.
Oh, there you go.
The bishop, the queen is suddenly protecting the pony on c6. So that's a problem.
You can see why optically this would be really,
Yeah, this looks super tough.
really tough for black. Maybe the idea is takes and actually wait, the white trying to go process of elimination here.
Yeah, the king actually can't get back to safety, so if you go to the light square diagonal... Oh, okay, that's a different light square. I was going to show that if you go to f1, bishop a6, and
okay?
your uncle. Whoops. Problems. But if you go to f3, are you really going to f3? LOL. Let's do it.
Black has to keep giving checks back to material down and getting attacks. Maybe there's just nowhere for the white king to hide.
Come on!
Beautiful save from black.
If you step to the g file, there's the g8, go back, and the queen just goes back to
Oh!
Wow.
Diagonal checks keep the white king honest. I don't think it's that from afar, but we have the after all, so crucial variation actually. Queen c7 might well be playable, but you have to get over that optical illusion of white just being winning on the spot.
Here we go. 3, 2.
Difficult stuff. This is a tough spot for Prag to be in. Gotta say, defending is so much harder than attacking, especially with the time trouble rearing its ugly head right now.
Very tough spot to be in, and I fully believe in Prag's skills. Obviously, he beat the world number 1 and the world number 2 at the time. Now it's Hikaru, but he did beat Magnus and Fabi in this tournament in classical chess. So he has been blowing our mind. He's only 18 years old, and he is just feeling so comfortable in a super tournament like this. He just thinks this is like, another day at the office. So of course he's more than capable of playing extremely high level chess, but highlighting that defending is always harder than attacking. There's a lot more on the line when it's about your king is getting checkmated. Am I getting checkmated or not? What do you think? Will he find a way to defend?
He is India's Wonder Boy. We all want the secret of his powers.
I got it.
I thought he is one of India's Wonder Boys, although they have a lot of them. But I wouldn't put it past him. Prag is playing awfully pragmatic chess these days, and he's calculating the time advantage that he had over Ferrugia